The Pittsburgh Steelers need to get rid of Mike Tomlin. You might be asking, well, Mike Tomlin hasn't had a season where he's finished below 500, but the thing is, he's put the Pittsburgh Steelers in purgatory. And if a team is willing to trade for Mike Tomlin, a team like the Bears or the Patriots, a team needing a coach like the Raiders as well, then trade him. Get whatever you can. But if nobody's willing to give up any draft compensation for Mike Tomlin, you're going to have to cut your losses because Mike Tomlin has put the Steelers in purgatory. The last 13 seasons, amazing graphic by the way. 3-8 record in the playoffs in his last 13 seasons, 5 straight losses in the playoffs, and 7 seasons without a conference championship appearance. That sounds like purgatory to me because you're not a team contending for a Super Bowl, and you're not bad enough to go reload in the draft to get a franchise quarterback. Since Big Ben, we've seen nothing but band-aids when it comes to Mason Rudolph, Devlin Hodges, Kenny Pickett, Trubisky, Russell Wilson. You got Justin Fields, a bunch of band-aids. But here, since, they've won a playoff game, which was in 2016, in a game against the Chiefs where they scored zero touchdowns. It was a bunch of field goals. Chris Boswell was the MVP in that game, obviously. We've had 2 GMs, 2 defensive coordinators, 4 offensive coordinators, 6 different quarterbacks, and the same head coach. And we've had the same problem, which is, yes, we can make the playoffs, but we can't win a playoff game. Yes, we won't finish under 500, but yeah, we're not going to really contend or make any noise or even win in a good fashion. Every year it seems like the Steelers win 9 to 10 games, right? With the occasional 12-game win where they won the division and got blown out by the Browns at home, right? Well, every other season that they made the playoffs, they get blown out by the Chiefs or the Bills, and, that's the season. That's it. You go visit Buffalo, you go visit Kansas City, and you just get blown out. And soon we're going to go visit Baltimore, and it's going to be 42-17. Because personally, if you were to ask me, the Steelers beat the Ravens, right? But they get blown out by Kansas City next week. Or would I rather get blown out by the Ravens, but Mike Tomlin gets fired? I'm going to personally want the Ravens to beat us to a pulp. So Mike Tomlin leaves, and we could finally have a bad year where we could reload, get our franchise quarterback, and then get back to our winning ways. Because this is a quarterback-driven league, all right? Look, this has been our seasons since, obviously, in a couple of these, we've had, I think from here, I believe right here, around, 21, 22. This is, the end of Big Ben, all right? It's, towards the end. Either Big Ben's injured or Big Ben's kind of washed. And then you've got right here, around these 2-3 seasons, where it's Kenny Pickett just being an absolute scrub, Mitchell Trubisky being a scrub, or Russell Wilson being a scrub, and Justin Fields just being left on the bench. And we've had elite defenses throughout these years, and we have no playoff wins to show for it. So this just shows me that we are in a league where elite defenses don't win you Super Bowls. If you see the past winners of the Super Bowls, you don't see really an elite defense. You kind of see a defense with a couple X factors that could either cause a sack or a turnover, right? And then you have an elite quarterback with an elite offense. This is an offensive-driven league. It's not the same rules as it once 10 years ago where the defense could beat on your quarterback. No, that's not the case anymore. Now, you have an elite quarterback. Look at the Chiefs formula. You have Patrick Mahomes. You give him 1 or 2 elite targets, a decent running game, a good O-line. And the defense, you just got Chris Jones. You got a corner, you got a safety, maybe a linebacker, and everyone else is rookies or guys on prove-it deals. And it's they're just out there making plays, and it's not big names. Like the Steelers defense, you got a bunch of good guys. You got Joey Porter Jr., Dante Jackson, Patrick Queen, Alex Highsmith, Peyton Wilson, you got TJ Watt, you got Cam Hayward. I'm listing you a bunch of elite defensive guys, right? And the Steelers won 10 games, and they lost their last 4 against competitive teams, against teams that all have elite quarterbacks. The Bengals got their elite quarterback. The Chiefs got their elite quarterback. The Ravens have an elite quarterback. The Eagles have a borderline elite quarterback. And, all these teams just ran up on us, So this is why I just say, Pittsburgh Steelers need to get rid of Mike Tomlin. Bring in A guy like Ben Johnson, who's interviewing with the Patriots and Bears and is interested in both of these jobs. Imagine if they told Ben Johnson, hey, we're going to give you an elite defense, just build the offense. He would be absolutely ecstatic. He takes the Steelers job instantly. Who wouldn't want the Steelers job as an offensive-minded guy when the defense is already set? All the Steelers have to do is simple. Fire your defensive coordinator, bring in Brian Flores, bring in Ben Johnson as your head coach, and then let him bring his guy at OC. And you literally go out and build, go get your franchise quarterback and build the offense from the scratch up, because Najee Harris is going to be free agent. If he doesn't want Najee, you can walk, buddy. The only really offensive weapon that I've really said it has been consistent is Pat Freiermuth. That's it. That's really it for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Look at George Pickens. I love George Pickens' talent, but he cannot stop getting in the way of himself. If you want to cut ties with him, I'm completely fine with it, all right? It's the first time I've seen someone have more drops than catches in a game and get called elite, all right? I used to be on George Pickens' side, but that was horrendous the past 2-3 weeks. Now, quarterback, I'm tired of these Band-Aids. I don't care what it takes, but you need to go out there and get yourself a franchise quarterback and somebody who can be an elite quarterback, because you will not be successful without that. And the problem with Mike Tomlin is he's going to keep winning 9-10 games, getting blown out in the first round. What is the point of being a great loser when you should be, trying to win a Super Bowl? If you don't win a Super Bowl, it's not a success. It's the Pittsburgh Steelers, 6-time Super Bowl champions, tied for most Super Bowls ever. And you're being content with winning 9-10 games year after year after year, not being able to make any noise in the playoffs, while even the Bengals have made the Super Bowl. Even the Bengals have made the Super Bowl. You're telling me the Pittsburgh Steelers can't go out there, draft a quarterback, build an offense around that quarterback, and then go? It's absolutely pathetic that I've gone from growing up from the Killer Bees, from seeing Le'Veon Bell, Antonio Brown, and Big Ben, to Russell Wilson out of his prime, Najee Harris, and George Pickens. Come on. But anyways, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more videos. Leave a comment down below if you think the Pittsburgh Steelers should fire Mike Tomlin, and let me know why.